In today's video, we're going over Dream 100 2.0. Almost a year now, I dropped the initial video where I talked about the Dream 100 strategy and how to apply it to grow your agency and basically sign huge companies, big old whales, and make a ton of cash for free. No ad spend, no mass cold DMing. It's a free strategy to help grow your agency. And it got a lot of great feedback in that video, but we are now in the end of 2025 and moving into 2026, and a lot of stuff has frankly changed about the strategy and the way that we approach it. And there's a lot of adaptations that you need to make going into 2026 to make this strategy work. So without further ado, let's dive into the 2.0 Dream 100 training.
All right, real quick, before we get into the full presentation, I'm not pitching you something, I'm not giving you some ad or anything like that. I just want to add in a full new section to this video. So I recorded this full video, I sat back down and was like, I need to add more stuff. And I want to show you guys what has really changed since the Dream 100 1.0 video. So I'm going to be basically just scrolling through this doc and giving some more sauce and more tips that you need to know to make Dream 100 work. So again, go through this section here, watch everything here, and then we're going to get right into the slide deck presentation that has some more updated strategies. But first off, what has really changed since the Dream 100 1.0 video? And again, for those of you who don't know Dream 100, basically it's a lead gen strategy. It's a cold outreach approach strategy. But what we do is we send highly customized, personalized videos to prospects to try to book in sales calls with them. So basically the foundation of the strategy is we're essentially getting a list of 100 or more companies that you actually really want to work with. So they can be case study builders. You actually really like the brand a lot. They can make you a lot of money. They can pay you a lot of money. And we're making something super valuable for them. We're giving them ready to run ads. We're giving them scripts. We're giving them a full free YouTube video, something super valuable for them that basically you notice can help them either optimize something that they are currently doing or help them start something new that can help them make more money, save time, get more leads, etc. So again, this is a cold outreach approach, and I'm going to get into the slide deck presentation after this added section to this video in a few here. And that section is going to break down everything from A to Z. But again, this is just a cold outreach strategy that agency owners and B2B companies can use to sign clients consistently. And you don't need any money to make these deliverables. You just do free work ahead of time for prospects, send it over to them, and book in sales calls. And again, you want to be sending these people, these prospects, something that either optimizes something they're currently doing. So say, for example, they're posting YouTube videos right now. You can send them free thumbnail updates. You can send them a free video script or something like that that optimizes their current videos. Like maybe you notice, hey, your videos just aren't as good between this point and this point. So I made a full video script that's going to help you optimize this, right? You're helping them do something that they're already doing better so they can get better results. This is an easier sell, by the way. The harder thing to do is to help them start something new. So if somebody isn't running ads, for example, sure, I could send them ready to run ads, ready to run media buying tips, ready to run campaign structures, ad copy, all that stuff. But then I also have to convince them not only on me and the free stuff I give them and my expertise, but also the method of running ads. So there's more objections that I could basically hit with, like, oh, I got to spend money. How long is this going to take to work, et cetera, et cetera. It would be easier for me to essentially go to people who are already running ads, give them something for free to help them run ads better. So that's just a quick note on that. But you can do either one. I've had success with either one. I know people who have had tons of success with either one. I've literally helped like hundreds of agency owners at B2B companies implement Dream 100, and both of them work. So next thing that's really changed since 1.0 is freaking AI. And I go into this in the presentation some more, but AI can really make killer deliverables super fast. You just have to make sure that the quality is still freaking good. Because look, if your deliverable sucks, nothing's going to work. Okay. If the free thing you give people absolutely sucks and it's not valuable, it's all AI slop and garbage, it's not going to work to begin with. So use AI to speed up things in the creation process of the deliverables, but don't outsource everything. Still use your brain on stuff. Still, for the love of God, please quality control things and check things out to make sure that they're actually good and the outputs are good. But basically, when you're making a bunch of deliverables and you're trying to scale the volume of Dream 100, what you can do is do a time audit and basically say, okay, cool, this part of my Dream 100 process to make one deliverable, one free thing for a prospect takes me 45 minutes, and it can basically be done to the same degree of quality and get the same result for the client if I just use AI. If that's the case, then you can start to use AI for those things. But again, we get into more of that later on. Next is please push the boundaries with your Dream 100 deliverables. Like seriously, man, like get super creative and very valuable, the thing you actually give people, okay? So your Dream 100 deliverable, and I'll go over more in the presentation on this, but the free thing that you give people should be as close to a tangible revenue generating end result that is highly valuable to the prospect as possible. So like leads or sales is what we want to get as close as possible to. Also, get freaking creative with these things. Stop being boring. Get creative, okay? So a great example of these is a cold email agency. I posted a tweet the other day. It was a video, like 2 minutes long, talking about a great Dream 100 strategy that I came up with for cold email agencies. So a great deliverable that you can give people is quite literally booked calls with people who want the thing that they sell. So for example, say you are a cold email agency and you service Tampa commercial cleaning companies. Okay, well, guess what you can do? You can spin up a couple cheap inboxes and a couple simple campaigns and literally book in appointments with commercial facilities in Tampa, then physically call the prospects who are Tampa commercial cleaning companies on your Dream 100 list and say, hey, I have a call with an apartment complex at 11 a.m. on Friday. They want commercial cleaning services. Do you want to take that call? Oh, by the way, I booked that with a cold email system that I can literally build for you that can book in 30 to 40 or whatever of these per month for you on autopilot. Do you want that call? I have more of them as well. You're literally giving them freaking leads, man. Like, okay, cool. You can give them a bunch of scripts and you can give them how to set up inboxes and all this stuff like that and how to implement the system themselves, which sure is still valuable. And I talk about that as a strategy in this video. But this right here is exponentially better because it's very close to what is very highly valuable to the prospects, which is leads or sales, right? You're literally giving them freaking book calls. So there you go. Okay. Do that, especially if you are an outbound agency. So another great example here of just creativity is Dan James. Okay. He runs a YouTube agency and he literally flew out to a prospect, Andre Hakel Jr., flew out to pitch him YouTube management services and flew to Lebanon. Okay. So he didn't fly like 2 cities over. He flew from Bali to Lebanon. How creative is that? Okay. I'm just showing you this because the possibilities are literally endless. And what he did here was he literally filmed himself doing it. So now he's going like viral as well for that. So it's a secondary effect. If you actually put work in to your Dream 100s and make them super valuable, you can literally go viral off of this. Like people are like, whoa, this dude's insane. What does he do? Oh, he runs a YouTube content agency. That's freaking sick. I want to learn more about him because he seems like a savage, right? Like this stuff right here, push the boundaries, stop being lazy and stop being boxed in. Do things that are very creative and different and stand out. Then another great one here is a content agency example. So like X and LinkedIn content. You can literally give plug and play post plus threads plus DM setting plus posting for 14 days. So I'll literally run your account for free for 14 days, 30 days, whatever it is. That is a sick deliverable. And I've been sent that 1 or 2 times. The content just sucked both of the times. So make sure the content's good. Okay, that goes back to the AI thing. They used AI to speed things up, but they sacrificed quality. So I just ignored it. And also, by the way, now I know they use AI. So if they try to pitch me later, that's always going to be in the back of my mind. These are some like random AI guys that don't actually put any effort into their copy. And that's not what I want from like a ghostwriter. So why would I buy their service to begin with, right? Now, the next thing is I get this question a lot, like, how do I know if my deliverable is actually good? And the frame to think through with your deliverables is, first off, put yourself in the shoes of a totally cold prospect. Would this message get your attention? Would this deliverable get your attention, right? Pretty damn sure this would. I'm pretty damn sure this would. Pretty damn sure this would. Okay. Especially if you actually watch this video from Dan James too, he made a really sick outreach video that he sent to Andre here, who's the prospect in this scenario. And it was so like super highly produced, very engaging, ton of cutscenes. It was sick. So like make sure your deliverable and the message is actually attention grabbing and interesting and different, not just, hey, I made this for you. Check it out. Send it back to me. Hey, I made this free YouTube script for you. Send it back to me and I'll edit it and make a thumbnail for you and post it. Like, come on, get creative. All right. Then like think if you're a cold prospect, would I actually reply to this? Is this thing even valuable to me? Like this is valuable to me, right? This is valuable to me. This is valuable to me. Is this easy for you to implement as a prospect and get a fast result with? Dan flew out to film with Andre. Pretty damn easy. Okay. This here, they booked the sales call for them. They just have to hop on the sales call. Pretty damn easy to get a deal closed at that point. Right here, this person made everything ahead of time. I read it. It was sick. And now they're going to post for me and work leads for me for 14 days or 30 days. Pretty damn easy for me to get a result, right? Not a lot that I have to do, not a lot of effort and sacrifice that I have to put into this thing to get a good end result, which is booked calls or revenue from the deals that I close from those booked calls. And look, do I actually want the thing, right? If you're sending YouTube scripts, people who are already cooking on YouTube and doing very well, then guess what? That's going to be freaking tough for you. So don't try to swim in like shark infested waters. Okay. Don't try to do that. Make things easy for yourself. And then, is this fluff? Like, am I just putting a bunch of fluff in my document? I see a lot of people with their Dream 100 deliverable documents and it's just all fluff. Like it'll be this long here and right here to here, they're like explaining their strategy. You're using technical language and all this crazy stuff. And it's garbage, right? Just get rid of all that. We don't want fluff. Okay. The prospect only cares about what's in it for them. What result can they get with this free thing? Is the free thing actually good? Did you actually take the time to tailor it to them? That's it. And how fast will it get them a freaking result? That's the frame you want to think through. And then does the actual outreach message sound salesy or not? Be very critical of yourself when you're reviewing these things here. And I always like to also think through the free food samples frame. And this is kind of an example I use a lot when I'm actually talking to people about Dream 100 and reviewing their deliverables and stuff and their actual outreach messages. So the free food sample frame is this. I was in Lisbon about 2 months ago and I was walking down the street and had a guy that just popped out and was like, hey, you want like a free steak? It was like a free like piece of steak, right? A little sample, those free food samples on a toothpick, right? I was like, sure. I tried it. The steak freaking sucked. Okay. So what do you think I did? I just kept walking. I'm not going to go and order a whole steak and eat there when the free thing sucked. Now, guess what? Every time I was walking past that restaurant for the next week, it was like, ugh, like I even changed streets sometimes. So I was like, that steak freaking sucked. I don't want this guy to like try to haggle me again for a free steak and all that. The thing sucked. That place is terrible. So now in the back of my mind, forever, I will be walking past, if I'm ever in Lisbon, I will be walking on a different street from that restaurant because that thing sucked. The free steak sucked. They put no effort into it at all. It was just garbage. So if you send a shitty free doc to people, a terrible free doc, a terrible free deliverable, terrible message, guess what? Same thing's going to happen with your prospects. So put time, energy, and effort into this. Don't give people a bad steak. Okay. Put time and effort and energy into it. Now, next thing is you need to have a sick attraction offer for your Dream 100 call to action. So basically, again, for a content agency, here's like a great one. So we'll beat the performance out of the best performing video that's ever been posted on your channel for free, guaranteed. Here's the freaking script that you can read word for word. It's fully tailored to you. It's not AI slop. You're not going to have to edit much at all. Here's the plan for it and how we're going to beat it. Here's the thumbnail. Here's the title. Let's go. Sick attraction offer. Paid ads or ad creative agency. Here are 10 statics and 10 ready to run AI UGC videos that are either of a UGC creator or this person that you basically are sending it to, which that will get their damn attention. That will beat the best performing ad that you've ever ran in your account, guaranteed. Run them and let's roll. And let's hop on a call and I can help you structure the account properly and just do a little audit because I run ads for XYZ companies and manage 7 figures and spend a month. Pretty sick, right? LinkedIn and X agency. Here's a bunch of free content for the next 14 days and we'll actually post for you, set calls from your DMs for you, and use engagement groups to get you more reach and followers than you ever have for the next 14 or 30 or whatever amount you choose days and whatever like trial that you give. So if this is like, all right, run the ads for 14 days or 7 days or post the content for like 14 days or 30 days, it doesn't matter what you pick in terms of time. You just got to make sure that you can get a result for the person. Like, obviously, like, hey, I'm going to post for 1 day for you is not valuable. Like, you're not going to be able to get that good of a result. 14, you can set some dang calls for them and you can get some sick posts that go viral a little bit for them. If your offer or the free thing that you're giving doesn't scare you, like genuinely make you nervous to give it away and scare you, and it doesn't make you think, what the heck, this is too valuable. And am I giving something away that's too valuable? It's incurring me time, money, and resources, then guess what? The thing probably isn't that good to begin with. And the prospect also thinks that, and they also won't value it. And they also won't consume it or move forward with you. The offer / deliverable has to be inherently valuable, super valuable, and catch attention. So again, we're going to talk about that more in the presentation, but just putting this stuff here. Now, get creative with your outreaches, okay? The actual videos and or messages that you actually send to prospects are the outreaches. So the initial thing you outreach with. Again, the possibilities are freaking endless here, okay? Moves like, again, the Dan James one where he flew out to a prospect to film a YouTube video with him and pitch him his offer, have viral ripple effects because, again, he's getting shared a bunch. People are like, dude, this guy flew out to like a prospect. This is insane. Look at this video, right? Has viral ripple effects and brand building effects. A lot of people now positively look at Dan James, even if he wasn't to sign Andre. A lot of people now know who he is. So it helps a lot if you put time and energy and effort into these things. Now, with your outreach message as well, so when you first reach out to a cold prospect with Dream 100, again, we're going to talk about some scripts, and I have a link down in the description below. That's a full swipe file for free of different scripts, deliverable documents, step-by-step guide on Dream 100, so many other things in there, so check that out. But your outreach messages cannot be salesy. They have to be creative and lead with value. We also don't want to use those fake, personal outreaches like, hey, I saw you have a golden retriever. I love them too. Ugh, garbage, okay? No one cares. Hey, I saw you're in Miami, Sick City. I went there 9 days ago. It's like garbage as well, okay? No one cares. You have a split second to get their attention. Don't waste it. So the next thing that's really, really changed since the Dream 100 1.0 video is we need to be focusing on value-dense follow-up only, okay? No garbage messages. If people don't reply or stop replying to you, like, Evan, ? If you send that to me, I'm going to scream, I'm going to block you, or I'm probably just going to blow you up on Twitter. Like, seriously. Just bumping this, or is getting leads from YouTube a priority for you? Ugh, okay? We want to be sending people value-dense follow-up. Every new message and follow-up that you send to prospects after the first one should be valuable in some capacity. It should give them value in some way, okay? So what do you send, okay? You could have new spins on your deliverable, so highlight different things in the document. Give them a couple new free things. This is if you have a prospect that's like replying here and there and stuff, you really got to grab that attention and pull them in, give them something else for free that's really valuable to them. So like Dream 100 them again almost. Share videos of things you did today that got results for other clients that you actively have, or just show people other Dream 100s that you're making that you did that day that are relevant to them. So literally you do stuff every single day on a daily basis, all day long. What you can simply do is just literally share what you did that day, right? If you're an email marketing agency and you're Dream 100ing e-com companies to pitch them on e-com email, show some freaking flows you built, show some results on the back end, show some really sick designs you made that are applicable to them. If they're a clothing brand, show them some clothing brand ones that you made, right? Like give them some value. Literally, again, screen share cool stuff that you do every day and send it to them. Break down the what, the why, and the how behind what you did. That's value-based follow-up. It's way better than just bumping this. Did you see this thing? Is getting leads from YouTube a priority for you? Or Evan or the freaking inspector emoji? Terrible, okay? Don't be lazy with your follow-up. This works so much, so much. Most of the calls that I book and the hundreds of other people that I teach Dream 100 to literally come from having value-dense follow-up. They come from the follow-ups. They book in 7 days, 10 days, 14 days later. Some other things you can do for value-dense follow-up is just something else that you notice that they aren't doing that can help them, right? So for example, if I give them some ads, some statics and UGC videos to run, they don't reply, then I start to see like maybe in their ad library, they're running dynamic creative. I explain why dynamic creative isn't good, and I give them a new account structure they should run. So individual ads and toggle all the enhancements off, etc. Case study overviews are very powerful as well, but actually like share the method behind it. Don't just flex it. Like you don't want to just case study flex, just actually break down what you did and how it's applicable to them. YouTube videos that you made that are really helpful and applicable as well to the prospect. Those are great too. Like, hey, just posted this thing. I thought it was super relevant to you guys. Check this out. Here's a quick bullet summary of it. You should probably skip around to this point in the video. I think that's most applicable to what you guys need right now. Trust assets that you made that are helpful and applicable to them as well. Great to do. So different resource documents, PDFs, SOPs, stuff like that. Even internal SOPs are great to send out. And an updated strategy or platform tweak that's applicable to them. These are super rare, but they're very, very powerful. And they show you're on top of stuff when they do come out. So for example, we're an ad agency. So when Meta Andromeda dropped, I sent a SOP and guide to all of the cold prospects that we were working. And it really did show that expertise and got some of them to actually reply and book in. Now, here's the other thing too with any of your outreach messages, a real quick thing. Never like talk down the prospects, okay? Message them from like a helpful friend standpoint. So what I mean by this is don't just say, hey, your emails freaking suck. You need this. Or like, hey, your YouTube videos freaking suck, dude. What are you doing? Like you're burning money and all this stuff. They're terrible. This is what you got to do. I get some of those sometimes. And I literally, even if I know the thing sucks, in my mind, I'm like, this guy's a dick. So I just get rid of them, right? I block them. So don't talk down to prospects ever. That's really like a good copy rule of thumb anyways. Don't even add scripts, like don't do that. Next thing is just pick a lane. Like I see a lot of people that dance between like cold outreach and Dream 100, or they don't know the difference. So cold outreach is high volume and less personalized messages. And Dream 100 is low volume, highly personalized messages and deliverables. So you're doing free work up front here in Dream 100. You're not doing it with cold outreach. So too many people, again, are confusing the two. Yes, they're both cold outreach strategies, but they're different strategies in themselves. So asking if you can send them something free is not Dream 100. That is cold outbound. Do not confuse the two. And again, in the presentation next, I go over more of this. But if you want to do cold outbound, then you need to 30x the volume. Okay, seriously, at a bare minimum, 30x the volume that you send out, because you're going to get higher response rates with Dream 100 and higher consumption rates. But again, you're making free work up front for the prospect. So you can't send out as much. So you need to compensate with volume. Next, the outreach scripts or the messages that you use need to be simple and feel like you're just talking to a friend. Don't overthink these too much. Don't make them sound salesy again. Don't talk down. It's like, hey, name, I noticed X, so I built Y, that you can literally use for free right now. No tricks or hidden BS behind this to get result. And I have a ton of other scripts in that document. If you want it for free, that swipe file down in the description below. Also, just know when to move people to a longer term drip sequence, okay? So a follow-up sequence. So basically when to move them out of a primary follow-up cadence. We go over follow-up in the presentation as well. But here's the thing, like if somebody that you sent a free thing to isn't responding, get creative and stay persistent first. Try to hit the person up from different channels, which is a huge lever. So if you're emailing them, try to hit them up on LinkedIn or where they're most active on social media, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Try to hit up different people at the company, maybe their partner, maybe a CMO, something like that. But at a certain point, usually after about like 14 to 21 days in, depending on the volume that I'm sending, at a certain point, the opportunity cost of making value dense follow-up for an unresponsive prospect is just higher than finding a new prospect on your Dream 100 list and starting the process all over again. So we'll typically move those people to a cadence where we follow up usually 1 to 3 times per month. So just keep that in mind. There's always a point where it's like, hey, when should I stop following up with them? It's really never. You're really never going to stop following up with them unless they tell you to just screw off. You're just going to move them to like a lesser cadence. That's it. I also love, here's a trick, is using custom domains when sending documents. So I love using gamma.app to make our actual deliverable documents themselves. So we house the deliverables in there. And again, that swipe file for free in the description below has a full breakdown of it. And we also go over a ton in the presentation after this. But I love using Gamma and then also just buying domains for like $1 from Iono. So they have like $1 free trial for a year and literally just writing like a very custom and personalized domain or making custom and personalized domain like listkitsfreelandingpage.com if I was sending listkit a free landing page, right, as my deliverable. You can also experiment instead of using Google Docs or Gamma for your deliverable document, just putting everything on a landing page, right? The style of your doc or landing page, whatever you use, should look like a landing page. It should be cleanly designed, easy to read, use clean fonts, have clean colors that aren't jarring, and ideally they're colors that are custom branded to the prospect, same fonts, stuff like that, and don't have a bunch of fluff. And what I mean by fluff is, again, just technical language and garbage that isn't applicable to the prospect whatsoever. Less words on your deliverable documents and messages for your outreach is better. It's more effective. Every word and section in your document needs to earn its place. The prospect, when consuming the document, only cares about what's in it for them. Remember that at all times. Not you flexing or breaking down a bunch of technical knowledge, okay? You can show some case studies in a deliverable document that you send a prospect with free stuff, but make it short and just show them, hey, I know what I'm doing. And also just like break down the case study and how you got the result. If you don't have case studies, that's okay. That's why this strategy exists. And I show you how to do everything in the presentation after this section, even with no case studies. So another thing is just have a clear reason for them, and I talk about this again in the presentation, for them to book a call with you after consuming the deliverable. Usually this is to make implementation and getting a result with your free thing easy and smooth for them. And I love using the, hey, just leave your credit card at home. I have nothing to sell you on this call trick. It works super well. And then the question of what should I do for my deliverable comes up all the time. And again, I break it down more in the presentation after this, but whatever in your offer stack, so what you actually provide to clients for your core offer, and what capabilities you have, and what is valuable to the prospect, and solves a narrow. So I always get this question as well. What should I do for my deliverable? So first you want to think about what's all the stuff in my actual offer stack right here. So all the stuff that I actually provide clients with on my core service. And then what are within my capabilities? What is valuable to the prospects I'm reaching out to? You want to think with all those, and then you want to say, okay, cool. What solves a narrow problem in a big way for these prospects fast, which thus builds trust with them. Okay, this makes ascension way easier and consumption way easier. So again, the YouTube agency example, okay, I'm not going to like randomly pitch them cold outreach for something that's not within my capabilities or my offer stack. Got it? That's straightforward. Now, if this person's already posting a bunch on YouTube, then guess what? Sending them scripts is probably not that valuable. Maybe their titles suck. Maybe their thumbnails suck. Maybe it seems like they have a different editor on every single video, so they're hopping between editors. Interesting. Now I can make a very customized, tailored outreach document for them and deliverable for them. I can give them new thumbnails. So I can say, hey, here's 10 thumbnails that'll improve the click-through rate on your top 10 performing videos right now. Swap these in. I also noticed that you're switching between editors, so I made you a editor Bible. This is exactly what we would do. And if you want, here's an actual script that you can read off word for word. We don't use AI slop, and send back to me, and I'll actually edit that for you and post it with a new thumbnail, title, everything. And I'll actually edit it with the editing Bible practices that I gave you here to show you or your editors how to actually follow this and what a good video for your channel should look like. That right there is way more personalized. And hey, Evan, I made this like YouTube script for you. Just film it and send it back to us and we'll post. Sound good? And it's just like you made it with AI, right? See how more personalized that is? It's all within my offer stack. It's more valuable. It's within my capabilities, and it solves a narrow problem in a big way for me. And also builds up trust because it shows that you actually looked into my channel and you're actually like, oh, this dude, I watch a bunch of videos from him. He uses different editing styles in every video. He must just be hopping between editors and just needs something more concise and clean. So another here is an ad creative agency example. So you give them, again, 10 free statics they can run, 10 free AI UGC videos that they can use on ads. Guarantee that they will beat their best performers for XYZ reasons, even on a low budget. Once it performs well, ascension is way easier. In the worst case overall, if you send a company, all right, you send a prospect these 10 statics and 10 free AI UGC videos, in this case here, guess what? You lost a few pennies in an hour using AI to create the videos and statics. And look, if they were great videos and they were great statics, the prospect still is going to look at you like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, this guy was great. These things looked freaking sick. I want to still learn more. Now, if these sucked, then yeah, they're going to look at you like shit if they didn't get the result. But if they were sick and they still didn't like beat the best performing ones, then you're still going to be at top of mind for that prospect and have a high likelihood of still signing them. Now, real quick, again, the video is not even close to being over. We still have like an hour and change of content, but click the link in the description below. There's a free Dream 100 implementation swipe file. It's everything you need to use alongside this video to actually start and get results with Dream 100. It includes deliverable document templates, outreach scripts, follow-up cadences, step-by-step guides, and way more. So click the link down in the description below and then keep watching this video. Let's go right back into the presentation and keep rolling.
So Dream 100, again, let's run it back. How to sign whales and make that internet money for free. So again, no ad spend required on this, even though I love ads. So first, what is the new stuff that we're going to be covering that was not included in 1.0? First is using AI to speed up delivery, so making your actual deliverables and the documents themselves. Second is going to be the major changes on how we actually approach follow-up and the messages that we send to prospects to actually get them to reply. Third is using Dream 100 with other lead gen channels and how to kind of weave that in. And short note on this, essentially what I like to do is anytime I have an interested lead that comes through, whether it's ads or whether it's cold outreach, like cold DMs or cold email, I love adding some sort of Dream 100 element especially if they're a very qualified prospect. So if you get a really qualified prospect come through ads to your ads funnel, for example, I love hitting them to really bait them to show up to that call, especially if they're very engaged. Something like, hey, here's a couple like UGC videos or AI UGC that we made for you that I'm going to show you on the call. That works so well. And another kind of example is, say you're a video editing agency, right? What you could do is if someone books in, they're a highly qualified lead through ads and your call is coming up in like 2 days, you could say, hey, I want you to send me over a couple of raw pieces of footage and I want to put together like 3 reels that I can show you on that call together. So shoot me over some stuff. If you don't have anything, I see you have a couple of podcasts online, a couple of YouTube videos, so I'm going to chop up some of those. So let me know if there's like any video in particular or topic that you want me to go in and chop it up, and I'll show it on the call that we have together. That would be absolutely sick. So using Dream 100 with other lead gen channels to strengthen those up and increase show rates and close rates and all that is a great strategy. And we'll talk about that. Updated targets and KPIs that you should be striving for. Follow-up cadence. We changed the actual follow-up cadence itself. So what do we do day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 after we send out the initial outreach message? Then email subject line. So if you're sending out emails to prospects, delivering your actual deliverable document, we're talking about that. And then the actual outreach messages themselves, we've changed a lot in how we approach it and what we see work. So first off, for those of you who don't know, what the heck is this Dream 100 thing? So Dream 100 is essentially an outreach method where you actually research and perform free upfront work for someone without them asking you to do so, or without you asking them if you should do the free work for them in the first place. So free work, yes, equals cash, okay? You're gonna have to do some free work in this, all right? I'm gonna show you why it pays off and what to do. So you have to do, yes, free stuff up front for people in this strategy. If you just wanna go mass cold DMs, mass cold outreach, totally different strategy, you can do that. It's a different game though, okay? We're playing lower volume, higher personalization here, and really trying to get some higher response rates. So why does this actually work in the first place? Well, first off, it's because you instantly stand out from every single other cold DM, cold call, cold email, and paid ad that they see. With Dream 100, you also don't need case studies and a ton of testimonials because guess what? You're doing the upfront work, improving your worth, and showing the prospect that, hey, I know my stuff ahead of time, okay? This is perfect for you new agency owners watching this, trying to build up a nice book of business, get your first few clients across the table. This is awesome for you. So plus, it's free. And it also helps you avoid situations like these where, you aggressively cold pitch your service and your prospect's like all weary and stuff, or you just, trying to be a sleaze in the DMs and just slinging a bunch of massive cold DMs, which I have a bunch of memes that are coming up and hilarious cold DMs that I get that we're going to roast in this video too later on. But again, this prevents you from being a sleaze in the DMs and getting a screenshot that ends up in a Dream 100 video just like this one. Watch out. So just for context too, why should you even listen to me? So again, my name's Evan Seech. I run an ad agency called Sell More Online, and I was able to work with absolute massive companies, signed huge retainers, and scale our company past the 6-figure mark super fast by implementing this strategy early on. So what I essentially did was I signed a bunch of whale clients initially, and that helped me, 1, just experience what it's like to work with those clients in general, 2, get some great cash flow, and 3, get some awesome case studies that I leveraged later on, right? So it built up my reputation initially. And I also did this, by the way, without a website at this time, without landing pages, without a VSL, and without content. So you can do this if you have nothing from scratch. It's going to take work, I will tell you that. This thing is tough, all right? It's a lot to do. It's a grind every single day. It sucks for a few months, but it just works. So keep listening. And let me be clear. This right here is not a Dream 100 outreach, okay? These are typical cold outreaches. So, right here, this guy's like, hey, Evan, I got an important offer for you. I'm sure it's very important. I'll write the copy for your next 10 email campaigns for free. If my emails outperform your current ones, we could talk about doing more. If not, we're good. Mind if I send over a portfolio of my recent work? So if this was a Dream 100 outreach, you would send me the emails first, all right? That's the difference. This guy, hopefully he's like mass spamming a bunch of people with it and just playing the volume game. This is more just a cold outreach one. And then right here is like, hey, I made you a 4-step cold outreach script for gym growth so you can book 15 to 20 plus gym growth workshop tickets this month. You're a part of my Dream 100 prospects I want to work with. It's like, don't say you're part of my Dream 100 prospects. Like, don't do that. And then again, send it up front. So it's like, I made you a 4-step one. No, you didn't. I don't believe that you made that. Nobody believes that you made that. Like, no. And also, this is super salesy, okay? Like, so you can book 15 to 20. It's like, it's so salesy. And then this, like, look at how horrible. We're going to talk about great follow-ups later. Look at how horrible these 2 follow-ups are. Question mark? Question mark? Did you get my DM? So bad, so needy, so salesy, just gross, okay? We don't like that. So cold DMs versus Dream 100. What is essentially the pros and cons of each, and what are they? I just want to, again, make this differentiation here. Cold DMs, they're not personalized. They're mass messages, no upfront work, barely any research on the prospect, maybe just like the niche that you're targeting and the list that you're pulling. You'll do a little bit on that to tailor the messaging towards it. But higher volume, lower response rates, and you need SDRs or setters monitoring it. So Dream 100 is hyper-personalized. It has individualized messages that we send out to prospects. Upfront work is the key, so we're showing value in that front and we're standing out from all these cold DMs that you're getting. We do deep research on the prospect before we actually send the outreach message and before we actually make the deliverable to see, hey, do they actually freaking need this thing? Like, some of you guys here are like sending people YouTube scripts to YouTubers that are already consistently posting. It's like, hey, I see you're like crushing it on YouTube and posting 4 times a freaking week. I have this script. I'll make the video for free for you and the thumbnail for free. You're like going after people that are already crushing it and in the game. And then you come to me and you're like, why isn't my Dream 100 stuff working? Because they don't freaking need your thing. You did no research beforehand, like at all, literally at all. You're sending things to somebody that doesn't need the thing that you're providing them. Like Dream 100 again is, hey, I noticed this thing that you're doing incorrectly or could be doing better. So I made this sick thing for you to help you get a good result and either do that thing better or start doing this thing. So anyways, Dream 100 is lower volume. It's higher response rates, way higher response rates. No need for an SDR or setter. You can use a Trello board or some other Kanban board to keep yourself organized. And we're gonna go over that in a sec. But first off, the Dream 100 process, what does it look like? So number 1 is know your industry. Who am I actually going to target, right? So am I targeting coaches, info products? Am I targeting B2B, local businesses? Pick something, all right? Pick an industry. Research and find your 100 dream prospects within that industry. So the 100 people that you actually give a deep fuck to work with. That's the key part. You actually want to work with them. Make a list of these 100 dream prospects and individually research each one of them to determine the value you can provide them. Can you actually help them? If you're a YouTube agency, right, trying to sign clients with Dream 100, first off, you should be doing something a little bit different than just what everyone else does. Now it's gotten like used and abused, just sending like free scripts and all that. So try to stand out, especially with your initial message and what you're actually providing. But second, okay, you should be researching companies in a certain niche. So say you're a YouTube agency and you're targeting coaches, right? You should be going after coaches who are inconsistently posting on the platform, or someone like me, before I started really scaling on YouTube, is I had like a bunch of different thumbnail designers. So you can clearly see I had a ton of different thumbnails. I had like different editing style per video. So you can see I'm just like throwing stuff together. I'd post like 4 times in a row, then I'd go dark, right? So individually research for a few minutes, take the 3 to 5 minutes to look at each prospect on your list and see the value you can provide them. It's going to make everything way easier, make your response rates better, book call rates, and you're not going to get frustrated with the strategy. Research is key. Personalization is key. Next is you're going to create the Dream 100 deliverable for the prospect. Then you're going to send them the actual deliverable on as many targeted channels as you need to get a reply. You're going to follow up with them, book a call, and close deals. All right. Now, finding Dream 100 prospects. So first, we want to just leverage social media platforms. So use different search features on like X, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and really like look where your actual target audience and industry hangs out, right? So if I'm targeting like info product people and SaaS people, they hang out mainly on X. That's where I'm going to research my Dream 100 prospects initially, and that's also where I'm probably going to reach out initially as well. That plus email with my actual deliverable. So like wherever your audience hangs out at, that's where you want to prospect. And that's also where you want to initially outreach. So search features on these platforms are really good. You could also look at an audience of a small to medium-sized influencer. So like don't go to Alex Hormozy and start looking through his followers on these platforms. Go to somebody that maybe is like a micro influencer in your niche, or even someone that has like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 followers, but it's very active in a particular niche, and look at his followers or her followers and just make that list. Then you want to also save profiles while you're consuming content. So if you're scrolling through Instagram, you're like, oh, cool, this guy looks like someone I could help, save the profile, just put it on your list, right? But again, these need to be 100 people that you actually give a deep fuck about to work with and really help. And you can actually spot something that they're doing incorrectly or not doing that can really help them. And you can make something valuable for them. That's what makes this work. So another thing that's changed since the first video is you can use something like Clay or some other list provider to find a list and manually just create a list of Dream 100 prospects. I've seen that work really well. Clay especially, you can get super granular stuff. So I just pay people to do it for me. I don't focus on Clay. You can do it yourself. You know how to do it. Awesome. I personally just go and pay somebody for it. So, yep. You could also join coaching programs and groups within your actual ICP or industry. So, warning on this one though, make sure you're not breaking any rules within the actual group and you're not coming off as being spammy or salesy. Like, to succeed with this strategy here, and I've done this. I've joined a lot of coaching programs and give a ton of value in the group, send some sort of Dream 100 stuff lightly, without the actual intent of getting, a sale really. And lo and behold, I signed deals from it. So to again succeed with this, you have to genuinely provide insane value up front with your deliverable and have no expectation of return, and also be extremely active inside of that group and be almost like an authority figure in your particular niche in that group. Next, what is a qualified Dream 100 prospect? So whenever I'm actually doing prospecting, again, I want to find people that I know I could help that are within my niche, but also there's some other things that can really qualify them. So first, I like to make sure that they're consistently posting content online somewhere, so like an active business owner. I like to make sure that they have an online presence in some capacity. I also like to see that they have a landing page or a website that's active. They're running ads, so I like check their meta ad library. Or I just want to make sure, again, they're a clearly established business. So for example, like a roofing company might not be posting content or running a ton of ads on like Meta, but you can search their company online to gauge reviews, see how long they've been in business, check directory listings and stuff like that, and just like see if they're actually active. So you can use any combination of these, but the more that you have stacked in your favor, the better. Now, making a Dream 100 deliverable, which is the actual thing that we're sending to the prospect. So the free work that we're sending. Let's go over that. So a lot of people just ask me, what should I do for free work? This is the number one question I get. People love to just outsource their thinking to me. So I'm going to tell you guys here, if you come to me with questions, whether you're in a group that's paid or you're reaching out to me on Twitter, well, look, if you're paying me money, I'll help you out. All right. I understand that. But if you're reaching out to me on Twitter, like, don't just DM me, what should I do? Go through this first. Okay. This all comes down to your research and just the essence of the strategy. All right. So remember, you are doing custom upfront free work for people to prove that you can provide value in some way to them, and to prove that you have spotted something that they can do better, or spotted something that they could start doing that could bring them a lot of value. So what you deliver to them as free work has to be a blend of what they need and, again, what you can provide. So literally the strategy is, I noticed, again, that you are not doing this thing and it could be making you a lot of money or helping you in this way, or you are doing this thing but you are doing it incorrectly or a little bit less optimized. So I made this free thing for you. So say, for example, you're an ad agency. So you make funnels, you do landing pages, you do back-end emails, you do ad creatives, you do ad strategies, all this stuff. So what you could do is say, I'm targeting coaches. I can look at 100 coaches that I actually want to work with, and each one's going to be different. I'm not just going to make the same deliverable and send it to each one, because, if I just say, for example, start making landing page designs for each one. Here's the thing, not all of them are actually going to need landing pages. Maybe some of them just have banger landing pages already, but their ad creatives suck. So I can UGC some ad creatives for them, or make some AI ads with like ARC ads or something and fire it over to them as a deliverable. Or you can have another pocket of those 100 coaches that have terrible copywriting, so you fix up their emails. Or some other ones, maybe their funnel does suck and their landing page does suck, so you have to go and fix that up, and you send them a free landing page mock-up. Right, when you're trying to come up with what you're going to give for free work, make your 100 prospects, and then from there, find different pieces of your service that you can break out and just give as free value to them. And make sure that thing that you break out is something that they actually need. And there's two things that you can do for people here. Again, so you can help them start something new, or you can optimize something for them. So here's what it kind of looks like. For example, help Hormozy, I think he's posting on Reddit now, but help Hormozy start posting on Reddit. So make him 30 days of plug and play posts. Help Daniel Fazio, who is posting some short form content now, but basically what you could have done, chop up 30 days of posts for him and have the captions and all that ready for him. So it's a plug and play 30 days of posting. You could also help an agency owner start cold email. So write them some scripts, give them a full guide on setting up the infrastructure, etc., and paint the picture of why they should start cold email. and what it can really help for them. Also, like show them a financial model of what it could look like if they implemented the system. That also makes it really real for them. So next is optimizing something for them. Fix someone's landing page or website. So if you have like a CRO offer, you could redo their lander or hero section, or give them some A/B tests to do, and make it like plug and play A/B tests. Don't just like write a couple lines, like actually design it in Figma of what they should do, or whatever platform you do stuff on, if it's like a Shopify CRO offer. Next is, you can optimize someone's thumbnails. So redesign 3 thumbnails for them, focusing on beating their CTR. So say CTR, but CTR, and tell them you will make their next 2 free thumbnails for them as well. Another example is helping a SaaS company run better ads. So Ravi, I have a whole case study on Ravi on our YouTube channel. He's in our Inner Circle program. And if you want to join that, there's a link down in the description below that has all the details. It's personalized consulting with me. But he implemented Dream 100 for SaaS companies for basically running ads for them, helping them with their funnels and stuff like that. And man, he scaled from 3K to 72K, and now he's well over 100K per month just off of Dream 100 cold video pitches. Crazy. Dude's a beast. So this stuff could really work. Again, if you want more information on that and some of our other offers, links down in the description below. But, if you're helping a SaaS company run better ads, you can make them, for example, 5 to 10 static ads to run and overview a strategy for them. Another thing you could do as well is maybe some, again, AI UGC, some ARC ad stuff, or just some AI ads could be awesome for you as well. And those could really stand out. And some key points to remember when making the actual deliverable. So everything needs to be as plug and play as possible for the prospect for this to work. Make it really custom to what they specifically need. Again, this is key. Take the extra 10 minutes per prospect to ensure that you really understand what their problems are or could be, and what problems they need solved or could need solved, and how you can actually solve them. So also try to weave in like a kind of mandatory call. I always call this hooking the call to implement the free work in the deliverable that you just did. So for example, what I was doing when I was scaling hard off of this, we would make landing pages for people that needed landing pages in our space. So what we would do is we would redesign a landing page in Figma, send them the Figma file, then tell them, hey, if you want, we can hop on a quick 10-minute call. I can get the logins to your platform and meet you real quick. So I'm not some like crazy dude off the internet. And basically I can just build this in your ClickFunnels. I think you guys are using ClickFunnels. So I'll build this in ClickFunnels for you, and you'll be, on your way. So that was really good. That worked extremely, extremely well. I got another cold email example right here. But again, it's really just making sure to like try to hook in a reason for them to book in a call to implement this free thing. And that kicks off the relationship. That call there shouldn't be like a full-blown sales call. A lot of times it honestly does turn into that. But most of the time, you essentially just want to establish a connection with them, help them activate and implement that free thing. It's like a low ticket funnel. You want people to actually activate and use the thing. That essentially just drives up the ascensions and conversions way more. But you want them to actually use the free thing. So this is like a hook for an implementation call. Like, hey, I want to help you actually execute this thing. So you get some sort of result. And then from there, you build that relationship up and you can sign them later. And also just be frequent and relentless when you're giving value. Like, I'm a big value guy. If a lot of you guys hop on like sales calls with me, I have people afterwards that genuinely are like, what the heck happened? Like, you actually just like gave me value. It's like, yeah, I just like to do that. So just make sure to give value, right? And how much free work should you do? I get this question a lot too. So you should be going after Dream 100 prospects, okay? Let me emphasize one word here, dream. Yes, anyone can be a high-paying client, but you want to be targeting proven people that from the outside looking in are qualified enough to pay you a good chunk of cash and will be a great case study builder in your industry. So this is the way to fast track growth and stack authority. So knowing that, you should put some additional effort and time into the free work that you do for them. Your reputation and money is on the line, so make it count. Just think, what would I have to do to virtually guarantee that XYZ person works with me, notices me, and sees a value that I can provide them? And I love this frame too. So I love to say, hey, so if you only had 100 people that you could work with ever, like the whole planet, there's only 100 people that you can work with ever and communicate with and talk to, what would you do to get their attention? That's really the main thing here. Is like you only have 100 people that you can ever sign as clients. So what are you going to do to sign them as clients? It's like, I'm going to do a shitload of stuff up front free for them that's super valuable and very specific to their needs, and just keep following up with more value and get in contact with them. So that's the frame. Now go ahead and do that work. That's the key part, doing the freaking work and actually executing the strategy. So Next is, how much time should you spend on a Dream 100 deliverable? Now, this has changed a lot since my last Dream 100 video that I put out. AI has grown so much in its actual capabilities, and you can make a huge deliverable document and super valuable stuff at scale using AI. So the key though, before you just jump into freaking using AI, is you actually have to make everything still custom tailored and specific to the prospect you're reaching out to, and it still has to be high quality. So what I see a lot of you guys that are leaning on AI with Dream 100 do is you just make these, again, templatized things that are all the same and cookie cutter for every single prospect, and they're also not personalized. They suck. It clearly looks like AI slop, and then you just like start ramming it out to people, and you wonder why you don't get any replies, and you wonder why you get ghosted. It's like because the thing sucked to begin with, and it's not personalized because you just did not take the extra step to personalize it. You can use AI to speed up the creation of these personalized assets and these things, but just don't make like some AI workflow that just does the same stuff for the same, people over and over again. Unless you identified like, okay, cool. Somehow this is like a list of, 100 people that need this specific thing. So let's say, these are 100 people that need a welcome flow email really bad. Then you can make some sort of AI workflow to automate that. But again, it has to be very personalized and the thing has to be good. So right now, if you can dial this in, the quality and the personalization with AI, you can make some insanely valuable deliverables in 1 to 2 hours max, even less, and scale volume up very fast. So again, don't get lazy with this. Start manual if you're new, and then slowly in your process, see what you can either automate with people or AI. So for example, when I was scaling really hard with this, with sending out landing pages for free, over time, I started to weave in AI for the copywriting. Then I started to weave in just a fixed designer on our team that would only make these designs in Figma. That was his whole job, was literally just to make these designs that we would send out. So I just automated the whole thing with people and AI to increase the volume, but it was still very personalized and it was actually high quality still. And then organizing essentially an outreach document, what to put inside. So these are kind of some great examples, but this is one person that signed Andrew Tate, I think it's a videographer, and he actually did a really cool like Twitter thread on this. So you guys can check that out as well. Just like search his name and then try to search this tweet. Here's an example of one that we did. And here's another example of one that I did. So I actually will go over a couple things here, some changes of what I did. So I don't personally like the layout of these ones actually. So these did really good before, but I've changed the layout and how we approach this. So your documents should look really clean and actually look like a landing page, okay? So like these ones here, to be honest, didn't really look like a landing page. They're very valuable, but at that time, it wasn't as like competitive in the Dream 100 space, honestly, so you could stand out easily. So, and I'll get into this a little bit more later, but again, you should really make it look clean. If I open up one of your documents and I can just scroll through and I can easily consume, all right, what's in this document, how it's gonna help me, and it's just like, I understand it super fast, like bang, 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 I get it. I get the concept, I get what you're giving me, I get what I can get out of this thing. That's awesome. And that's why I love kind of thinking of them like their landing pages, so it's easy to digest and clean. So like nice headlines, bullet points in the copy, broken up copy, not a bunch of massive paragraphs, a nice video at the top that explains everything, chapters in the video, right? Titled sections that are very direct. I love having the actual free thing at the top, not a bunch of sales copy. Some of you guys send me the headline, the video, a bunch of just like salesy stuff on selling the opportunity and case studies and all this stuff. It just gets buried, the actual thing that you're giving them. So again, just remember this. It's, I noticed this thing that you're not doing or you're doing incorrectly or unoptimized. I made this thing for you. Here it is. Here's how to implement it. Book in a call, I'll help you implement it. Just keep that in mind when you're actually making your pages or your deliverable documents. And another thing too, so if it's like a thumbnail or something very visual, you can get away with just sending the actual images in the initial message. So like, this is what somebody sent me, it caught my eye. They just DM'd me like a thumbnail design. I was like, that was kind of cool. So overall, just making successful free work that actually converts. Again, make it custom to them and what they need. Don't make it salesy, actually make it freaking good. Make it easy for them to implement and consume and use, and then treat the free work like you got paid for it. So now we're gonna talk about reaching out to cold prospects. So first is, where do I contact them? So honestly, everywhere you can. So social media, email, coaching programs, SMS and phone, direct mail, I've done some of that. And also I've paid for consulting calls with people. That is a pure freaking hack. Podcasts are another thing I've been seeing pop up lately. So just kind of keep that in mind. Sometimes it can kind of give you a bad rep, especially if you like suck at podcasting and you actually don't post it. Like I've had some people reach out to me and like, I've been on some great podcasts with people. I've had other ones that like I've hopped on and they talk to you for a half hour and it's like very surface level stuff. And then they just pitch you at the end. They never post it. It's like, okay, what the heck was that? So I don't like that. That's garbage. So don't do that. And just really get creative when you're reaching out. So anyone can be contacted with enough effort. This is a great book to read. It's called How to Get a Meeting with Anybody. Definitely read that. It's got some very creative things in there for different like outreach methods. And it's an awesome one, honestly. So if you're reaching out to like larger companies too, here's some tips. So think of it like cold email, all right? Try to hit as many decision makers as possible. You know, if you provide great free work that is valuable, even people lower on the food chain in the company will pass the deliverables and message along. So just don't send like a funnel design, for example, to like the funnel builder at the company. Use your common sense, all right? So what do you actually say when you send the free work? A lot of you guys are screwing this up too. So let's dive in. Try to make your outreach message short and snappy. The longer stuff isn't really working as good anymore. The short and snappy stuff that's very direct is working a lot better. Also, wherever you have a subject line, so like if you're sending, you know, an email out with the actual deliverable document and the outreach message, don't make it super salesy and like backhanded, right? Like don't write the subject line in a very salesy or backhanded way where somebody reads it and they're like, yeah, this guy's trying to sell me something. It sounds like a marketing message, sounds like a marketing blast in email, or just like, you know, garbage cold email, or like you have some sort of expectation of a sale in return. You know, again, same with your actual message, but make it seem like, again, here's something for you, or I noticed this thing, stuff like that. You know, just really get them to open the actual message still. So have those like not clickbaity tactics, but be engaging in the actual subject line. Just don't make it sound marketing-y or salesy. And honestly, I love direct as heck subject lines right now. Love it. I love using LLMs like Manus or ChatGPT to kind of come up with some subject lines. Here's one that was working really good. 3 A/B tests for brand names lander, 3 A/B tests for brand names website. You know, very personalized and it's very direct. It's like, interesting. Okay, 3 A/B tests. Cool. What is this? You know, 10 ready to run UGC ads for brand name. Another one too, very direct, tells you what's in it. It's also personalized. And also again, ready to run implies ready to run. So another one too I saw is like, run these 10 ads I made for you, or try running these 10 ads I made for you. It's another one that worked pretty good lately too. So now for the actual message itself, make it very tailored to them and the specific problem you are solving for them and what you observe. That's the key part, all right? So don't make this part super generic and copy and paste from every single prospect. Again, this is a lower volume, higher personalized strategy, high touch points, high follow-up. So you did all this free work up front, don't blow it here. So for example, here's a great one, is, hey Name, I noticed you are posting here and there on YouTube. You have some different editing styles and thumbnail styles, so you're probably, you know, using a couple editors and stuff like that, but nothing is like, you know, truly, I guess, like consistent. You know, don't like insult them, but, you know, say I kind of like notice it's probably not really consistent stuff. You're posting here and there, you got a bunch of editing styles, you got a bunch of different thumbnails and stuff. So here's what I did for you. I made this document that helps you with XYZ, right? A YouTube system or something like that. That does really good. You know, I also had a guy that actually signed me for some other content stuff. And what he did was he just reached out and he was like, hey, I see you're, you know, trying to like post threads and stuff like that. And you'll post like one here and then you'll kind of like not post another for a month and stuff. So what I did was I just made 12 of them for you and you can just go and post them, try them out. They're going to get you some great engagement and then we'll chat. So it was like, okay, cool. You also did weave in too, like, hey, I'll actually like go in and set the people that reply to these threads for you. So just like, you know, if you want to meet up and I can get your login so you know I'm not like crazy and stuff, you can do that. So he actually hooked me in with the call. It was very good. So just be personalized, right? Try to hook in that call and just be a freaking human in these things, right? It's like observe something about them, observe something about their company and make a personalized thing and like give them an actual reason why, a real reason why you're actually reaching out in the first place and make it believable. So another hack too is I love making like a landing page or a Gamma doc with your deliverable and buying a domain and connecting it to that Gamma doc or like the landing page that you make with a domain like giftforcompanyname.com or 3 A/B tests for companyname.com, right? Something like that. You can go to like ionos.com or whatever they are and get a domain for like $1. So don't be lazy. Now, the follow-up process. Setting up a project or Kanban board to track follow-ups and set reminders is really what I do. So I use like Trello initially. You can use Asana, whatever it is, but just track, have like different stages, pipeline stages basically for different follow-up points, and set tasks for yourself. It's really easy to stay super clean and organized. Now, what to say in the actual follow-ups themselves. So this is a big change since my last Dream 100 video. So we focus heavily on value dense follow-up now. So we're not doing a bunch of generic slop, right? So this means custom tailored follow-up to each prospect for 7 days at least since the initial outreach message that we sent. So we reach out to them first. We're at least sending value-based stuff for 7 days, bare minimum least. So value-based follow-up is literally just that. You say something else in the follow-up message to the prospect that is of value, okay? It's value-based follow-up. So whether it's a different like small part of the deliverable, a different breakdown, I always like to tell people like, hey, look at something that you did today. Like for example, if you're an email marketing agency, look at like what you did today. If you worked on like a campaign for a client, make a whole breakdown of that and send it over to the actual prospect themselves, and like, hey, we did this thing today for this client, thought of you. It's very like similar to you guys. So I just want to like show you the campaign and stuff and what we did. But anyways, like you can apply some of these principles to your campaigns and stuff like that. So here you go, send that over, right? You have infinite amount of things that you can do because every day you are doing stuff. Even if you're only doing Dream 100 all day, guess what? You have a bunch of deliverables that you've made for other prospects in that same niche that you can make content around, make value-based follow-up videos around, fire it out to the other prospects. See, use your brain. Anyways, you just give more value with value-based follow-up, not generic copy and paste slop like this. Let me know what you think. Did you get a chance to look at the script? No. Would you mind if more people, what is this? Would you mind if more people reach out to you organically from YouTube? What stupid question is that? Stupid question. Very dumb, very bad. Let me know when you get a chance to look at the script and record the video. We'll make it 100% free. No funny business. Well, this was kind of some funny business. If this isn't a priority, do you know anyone who would be interested in a free YouTube video? That one actually, okay, that was interesting. It was stupid because it was like trying to like get me to reply and all that. Then he screwed it with this thing here, the no reply, huh? That's so dumb. And also, yeah, did you get a chance to look at the script? Look at copy and paste stuff. These are two different people. It's the copy and paste things. Like, you have to do value-based follow-up because guess what? Your whole entire competition and everyone in your niche selling to the same people that's doing this strategy or even doing cold DMs is sending the same stuff. I get these two same questions over and over again. And then this stupid inspector emoji. Don't send me that. Don't send me the stupid inspector emoji. It's so dumb. Don't do it. It doesn't work. Or the Evan question mark. Okay. If you send me the Evan question mark, and I know I'm going to get some of you clowns that send me this watching this part of the video, I'm going to see some like weird thing on my YouTube where it like falls off and like at this point, like 40 minutes in or whatever, because all you guys are going to my Twitter and like DMing it or commenting Evan below in the YouTube, but don't do that. My heart rate shoots up. So does your prospects. The second that somebody sends that, it's so not personalized. It's so lazy. Don't be lazy with your follow-up. Value-based follow-up, okay? Here's another one, right? Hope you're having a productive week. Thanks, Bisma. You too. Just wanted to follow up earlier on my message about simplifying your B2B lead generation and outreach. Any chance of quick 15-minute chat fits your schedule? Like, that doesn't even tell me anything. What is that? Like, genuinely, what is that? That's like, this sounds like some GPT type stuff. Like, no, I'm not going to chat with you for 15 minutes. Simplifying my B2B lead gen and outreach. This is your competition. If you just be valuable and send value-based personalized stuff, you're going to get more replies. Guess what, though? You won't do it because it takes work and commitment. And the third day you send something, you might not get great positive replies. But guess what? If you keep fucking doing it for an extended period of time, you will get better replies. Don't do this. Don't resort to this. Okay. Back to it. Always be spotting value where you can add value, okay? So, this right here is like me harassing Andre, Daniel, and Christian over at ListKit and Client Ascension. Love working with those guys. Got to work with them because of a bunch of this stuff. I just was like value bombing them left and right after I joined the program. So, yeah. Even though you ultimately want to make money from these prospects, you have to come from a position of genuine value and care up front. If not, you will come off as salesy and needy, and no one likes that. So also accept that sometimes bigger prospects may have something else more pressing that you can basically, use as leverage to get your foot in the door and then sell them on your core services after. So for example, we signed a huge client of ours initially on just a copywriting agreement. Now I'm helping them run funnels, build ads, media buying, my core offer, right? I desperately saw though initially that copywriting was a huge issue and bottleneck for them, identified that and made a deliverable for them and went all in on copywriting initially. So I just went in on that. So some mistakes to avoid with Dream 100 is first, adding too much explainer stuff at the start of your document and trying to just convince them on why they should use your deliverable. So I saw like one guy that was doing like low ticket funnel stuff, and it was like the first like 9 pages of, which first off was too long. First like 9 pages of his Dream 100 document was just a bunch of like pitching low ticket as a mechanism. And he was selling it to coaches. Like, dog, they already know. They already know what it is. Don't do that. Deliverables at the top. Bring those to the top. So just focus on what they're missing out on and what they stand to benefit from using your deliverable as quickly as possible, and move the deliverable to the top, right to the top. And also tell them how to implement it easily and clearly. So next is not doing enough research to see if your prospect actually needs your deliverable or not. This will just burn your time. Again, talked about this before, but not following up enough, making the deliverable document too long and confusing. So I love adding a video explainer inside with chapters, and then also making the actual document easy to consume, making the implementation of your deliverable seem too costly, too confusing, too time consuming, and just downright freaking annoying. Also, again, having an ugly looking and confusing document. So we want to make it look clean, custom branded, and easy to scroll through and read and digest. So make it clear what you're giving them and what the outcome can be of implementing the thing that you gave them. So you should be able to just grab your phone and look through the document in like 30 seconds and understand everything. If you can do that, you understand that your copy is really good on the page or the document. The headlines are good, they're clear, bullet points are great, everything's just nice and clean and laid out. It shouldn't look ugly as well. So common FAQs. What channels are the best to use to reach out? So first off, every single one. Hit them from all angles. Just know where your ICP initially typically hangs out. That's what you're going to want to focus on initially. So also just see where the prospect is most active on, and where they're most likely to not have setters is a big thing. So info product space, a lot of the accounts use AI or setters on Instagram, but not email or other channels. So keep that in mind. Then I get this question a lot, how to get past setters. So scope out the outreach channel beforehand. So check if they have setters beforehand, then send it on a different channel. Again, just try another channel. Next is to scrape the actual direct email of the owner or someone else from the executive team, and then still send the deliverable to the setter at the very worst, that's, the least kind of that's the last resort and stuff, but send the deliverable to the setter and direct it to the owner. Sometimes I've actually seen that work. So some optimal cadence, and again, this did change a little bit from the past video, but optimal cadence for outreach and follow-up. So day 1, initial message. Day 2, follow-up 1 and 2. Day 3, follow-up 2 and 3. Sometimes day 2, we'll do 1. Sometimes we'll do 2. Depends on the heat of the prospect. But day 4, layer on different channels. Day 5, another 2 follow-ups. Day 7, layer on another additional channel, and then also do another follow-up. Day 8, another follow-up. And then day 14 plus, we'll do a long-term drip for them. We'll follow up with them bi-weekly or something like that. Once a month, kind of keep them in the vortex, but usually I like to do bi-weekly. Another question I get all the time too is, do I send a message beforehand to connect a week or so before sending the Dream 100 deliverable? So yes, if you don't have a salesy profile and actually sound human, yeah, just be a human and make a genuine connection beforehand. So KPIs and targets here with Dream 100. So basically, let's set your own targets. Again, this is what I use for targets. You can set your own. It's going to be a little industry dependent and everything, but basically the output targets are the first thing I like to set. So set a target per day. Just lie in the freaking sand, 5 a day, bare freaking minimum to start. You should be cranking out stuff. I literally block off time every single day for outreach and some sort of attention activity to grow my business. So you should do that as well. Next is set a targeted piece of content you can make showcasing the deliverable. So if you make all this free stuff, you can make some sick YouTube videos and tweets and Instagram videos around those actual free things that you're making, and around those cool deliverables, hey, I made this landing page for this person, right? That sort of stuff, that sort of content. Set a target amount of follow-ups as well every single day, and track these in a spreadsheet. So inside of our Inner Circle program, we have an input tracking sheet that I send every new agency owner that comes into our program. And it literally just tracks what they're doing on a daily basis and makes sure that they're hitting these output targets, and they can visually see if they are or not. So performance KPIs, I like to go for a 30% response rate, 15% book call rate, and about a 7% close rate. This has like decreased a little bit since the initial video, but this is just what I'm seeing now. Pretty much like industry wide. Again, I have a lot of people that send me their stats and stuff for Dream 100 and my community and other communities. And this is kind of like the average and stuff. And this is what I'm going for. If I'm telling somebody, hey, so start Dream 100, this is what you should be striving for. If you're hitting these, you know, like the deliverable is good and you're doing some stuff right. So just scale that thing up. But like, just think about it. You can get 100 people and sign 7 clients on this. Like, it's pretty freaking good. So keep that in mind. Factoring in costs. So you should be treating this like any other acquisition channel when you're actually doing math and scaling. So first off, you want to take how much does it cost you in hard cost to produce and deliver 1 unit of, you know, 1 deliverable. So staff and platforms, right? Like I had staff members making the landing pages when we were doing this, you know, sending landing pages for free to people. So I just factored in that cost. Then I do the cost of your time as well to deliver 1 unit. So price it out. And that's going to equal your, you know, essentially like cost to acquire a customer. Obviously, like factor it into how many you've sent and how many clients that you've actually signed from it, and then do the math there. But yeah, that's how you actually like calculate the CAC behind it. So this is also another series I love doing with Dream 100 is like the what if series. So I get all these questions. Oh, what if this happens? So I'll show you. So what happens if they don't like, see, or consume my free work? Well, if they don't see it, follow up forever until they tell you to screw off. Try new channels, get creative with your follow-ups. They don't like it, take the feedback and improve or adjust it for them. Ask what they don't like and then adjust it. You know, someone says they don't need it, refine your research process. So basically you're, again, not sending the right stuff to the right people. If you get left unread, follow up, provide even more free work if it's worth it to you for that prospect. And also just, again, try new channels and, you know, get creative. If you have a low take rate, then you're not giving enough value. So like low take rate, by the way, means low take rate on actually like consuming and activating and using your free thing. So like if you're sending a video script, right? Not that many people are actually using the video script. So that means you're not giving enough value. It's the wrong ICP, it's too pitchy, or it's something that everyone else is using. Another thing too is like, again, you could also just post content like I made X for X person or company and kind of like authority hack for reach. I've seen that work really good. So it's like I made this ad creative or this short form video for this person, then post it on Twitter, tag the person, post it on Instagram, tag the person. I've seen literally people sign deals because of that with some sick people. So great thing to do. You did the free work, you did something. So like post about it. Works really good. It's also a great outreach strategy as well. And just like get their attention. So increasing response rates from your actual prospects. So here's some strategies to increase the chance that someone will reply to you and see your Dream 100 deliverable. So sometimes I'll see people like test with burner accounts first. So I'll do like 1 salesy message to see if they even open it, and then 1 prospect related one. So like a personalized outreach, basically just to see if somebody actually replies on that channel. It's a little bit iffy, but can work if you're doing this like at scale and trying to get like very pinpoint with who you're targeting. So next is like sending them stuff in person. So like gifts, lunch, note, adding like a QR code to things, like an Uber thing with like a QR code attached or a link attached. Sometimes I like to do like a little personalized note. That works really good too. So freaking just call them is another thing too. Digital Starbucks card, that's like guaranteed deliverability. Have like a bit.ly in the description or something, or a CTA in the description. That works really good too, like sending them a digital Starbucks card. Hit all channels, so different partners they have. Executive staff, like don't just go in one person. Like some of you guys just send like one thing to one person and then vanish. It's like, no, that doesn't work. Well, yeah, gotta try some other stuff. You can join their coaching program or community or pay for consulting. Again, don't be that weird guy that goes into every community and just like tries to sign everybody immediately. Like give some value first and build up that goodwill, then do it. Paying for consulting is really good too. So also using a connection or a mentorship platform to, again, just guarantee connection, same sort of thing. So like Connect, you could use, there's some other ones too, like Founder or something like that. I forget what it's called, but there's some other platforms that you can literally just pay to connect with people, and it's really cool. Ask them to be on a podcast. If you have a podcast, again, post the podcast, and ideally you have a podcast already. So attend their events. That's another big thing. I've done that sometimes. I've literally gone to their events, handed them like a thumb drive. It's pretty dope. Or like a document too. I had like a little thick thing of like a bunch of documents, like copy, handed somebody. Did pretty sick. We signed them. But publicly post and tag them. LinkedIn InMail. Calendar invite with deliverables in the description. I've done that before, believe it or not. Works really good. Leverage a connection that you currently have or somebody lower than them on the totem pole at the company. Literally fly to their freaking office if it's a big enough deal, of course, and you have a good connection. You know, and actually makes like logical and monetary sense. Postgrid or Sendoso or like some direct mail services that you can do direct mail with. Check for multiple email addresses as well. Some people have multiple email addresses you can grab. Send them a YouTube video explaining the deliverable. That's really cool too. So like literally YouTube video, explain the deliverable, and then the actual description has the deliverable. Just a little bit like something different. Tag them in a post or invite to collaborate on Instagram. Message other people at the company with the same methods, like directors, managers, executive team, etc. Right? If you just relentlessly follow up multiple times with multiple methods on multiple channels, you will get a reply one way or another. Promise you that. If you don't, go back to your targeting and your research and find someone bigger and more active. Also look at like your outreach message and your subject line too, because that could be a bottleneck. And your path to scaling with Dream 100. So let's dive into your path to scaling your agency with Dream 100. So if you're like between 0 and 10K and just starting out here, not a lot of case studies, just ram Dream 100. If you're between like 10 and 30K, that's a great time to start doing like cold email and cold outreach, like more mass at scale. And again, you can kind of like weave in Dream 100 to that. So if you get a good like positive reply on cold email, then guess what? Do a Dream 100 for them if they're a really good prospect. And also just like continuously doing Dream 100 works really good here. Once you're past like 30K, I always like to just straight up run ads. Like, we're an ad agency, we can help you out. Link down in the description below to all of our offers. But anyways, Dream 100 only to whales at this point. So we still do Dream 100, but to huge companies. And by the way, you should be doing content this whole time because, you know, if somebody looks you up online, you have no content, you're a ghost, it just looks really weird. So definitely want to have content to support all of your different acquisition channels, outreach methods, paid ads, everything. And when you're starting out, again, you don't have proof, right? You're just starting out your agency. You don't have a lot of proof. You can copy winning offers, but the proof is what will really help you sell big retainers and just grow faster. So doing free work and implementing Dream 100 is a way to speed run your proof acquisition to fuel further scaling. So bonus points, stay niched when you're doing Dream 100. And here's why. So basically it's because you can slowly gather testimonials from bigger and bigger and bigger fish in your industry, and then build this endless conga line of testimonials and proof that you have helped major players in your industry, and just keep going up the food chain. That's what we did, and that's why we were able to scale fast, because I got a bunch of case studies initially with big companies, and I scaled faster because of that. You're now gonna blow everyone else out of the water who has a similar offer to you when you have this proof already lined up. And final side note, if nobody wants your free work, then shift your ICP and or your deliverable or offer completely. So by offer, I mean, don't like go from like it's not your core offer, right? It's the offer that you're actually giving somebody. It's not like, okay, if I'm doing Dream 100 and I'm cooked and I'm not getting good reply rates and stuff like that, I'm not just gonna shift from like a cold email agency to an ad agency, right? By offer, I mean, you know, like you YouTube guys send the same stuff over and over again. All of you do. It's, I made you this YouTube script here. I'm gonna make a thumbnail for you and edit the video. It's like the same thing. Change up the actual offer of the deliverable and what you're offering somebody. And just know that Dream 100 is a tough strategy. Like most are gonna give up, so just simply don't, and you're going to beat everyone. And here are your action items. So first is carve out 2 to 3 hours a day over the next 90 days. Ideally more than that, but 2 to 3 hours a day over the next 90 days. Follow the strategy, make some money, and that's it. All right, so go out and execute. If you have any questions, shoot me a DM on X at Seech. There's a link down in the description below if you want to join our Inner Circle consulting program. And also, we are an ad agency, so if you want us to run your ads for you, there's a link down in the description below about our offers for our ad agency. Use this to scale up. Ask me any questions, comment it below, shoot me a DM on X, and scale it up. Peace.